What are the best and worst side delt exercises? Just the side head, not the front or the rear. There's a terrible F tier one at the end, and we'll start with machine shoulder press. I probably would have put this in C tier, but I did a shoulder press test with my friend Will, and both of our side delts activated more than our front delts. Since they're also great for overload, I'm gonna tentatively go with A tier.
I'm gonna strongly disagree with the idea that this is a great middle delt exercise. Let me show you why. So any kind of overhead press or lateral raise will follow this kind of path of motion. And in order to determine what's actually performing this action, we need to ask ourselves what is on the top side of this joint, because whatever is on the top side of this joint is going to be the thing that's able to actually create a torque that moves the arm upward toward the top. And whatever is on the top is going to be whatever is actually on the side that will pull the arm directly up and out. Now, these are representations of the delt muscle. These three portions over here are defined as the rear delt. This one down here is the middle delt, and then these ones are the front delt. Now, these different portions actually have slightly different insertions, and so this is the one for the rear delt, this is the one for the middle, and this is the one for the front. So the rear portions come in slightly over here, the middle portions come in kind of on the middle, and then the front delt comes more in the front. Now, if the arm is in a neutral position like you see it here, you'll notice that the middle delt is basically directly on the side of the body, which means that it can raise the arm upward and outward from the bottom position. But when you externally rotate the arm like this to perform an overhead press, you're bringing your hand backward like this. What you are doing is you are rotating this bone backward, which looks like this kind of rotation. And when you rotate this bone in that direction before you raise it, what you're doing is you're putting the front delt more toward the quote unquote back, i.e. more quote unquote toward the side. In other words, when the front delt attachment moves more in this direction, it actually moves where the middle delt kind of once was. In other words, these portions of the delt essentially shift backward, meaning that they are the muscles that are able to pull the arm upward. Now, this is where this tier list concept gets even crazier.
Dumbbell lateral raise. I don't love that you get zero tension in the stretch. I'll go B tier.
So the exercise that literally puts the middle delt in the position to work is somehow worse than the position where the front delt is more in line to work. Because again, in a normal lateral raise, your middle delt is basically the thing that is on the side, and therefore is the thing that can actually move this arm in this direction. So overall, remember this. The overhead press is a front delt dominated exercise. There may be minimal amount of middle delt involved for some stabilization of the arm, but nothing beyond that. The dumbbell lateral raise, despite having zero tension in the bottom, is a much more specific middle delt exercise.